This is the Coach Maz Show, presented by Griffins baseball alum State Farm agent Alex Hetrick in Murraysville. Like a good neighbor, State Farm agent Alex Hetrick is there. Here's Dan Flickinger and the head coach of the Seton Hill Griffins, Mark Marizaldi.
And welcome to the Coach Maz Show, as always presented by State Farm agent Alex Hetrick in Delmont. Like a good neighbor, State Farm agent Alex Hetrick is there. The Griffins take game one of this three-game series yesterday by a final score of 6-0 behind some great pitching by Brandon Bergert, and we'll talk about Brandon's performance in just a moment. We'll talk about the game in just a moment, Maz, but something that I can't believe I didn't mention it yesterday was your 700th win to finish off the Florida trip that we talked about. Congratulations, man. That is just unbelievable. I feel like I can't keep track of the milestones here, and it's a testament to you, the coaching staff, and, of course, all the players that have put in so much hard work. I feel like it's every other year we're celebrating, 600, now 700. It's just incredible. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I also should probably thank all of our alumni. I heard from so many people. I had probably, 60 text messages after that Tampa game and had quite a few after Saturday's 700th win. I mean, I guess that goes on my record, but that's 700 wins for Seton Hill baseball over the last, 20 plus seasons. It's surreal, Dan. I'm so grateful to be given the opportunity to do this, 20 years ago, starting this program from nothing and now winning 700 games and the expectation to play in regionals and World Series. It truly is like a dream come true. And 700 wins is just one of those kind of pinch me moments. Like, oh my gosh, have we really done this for this long? It was kind of funny. You didn't see it on the broadcast, the live stream at Florida Southern, but we won the game and we went out into the outfield to kind of do our normal post-game talk, and guys were acting a little bit weird. And I'm like, all right, something's going on here. And I turn around to Marinchak, and somebody else had the water cooler and they're running
that's
out.
Awesome.
And I said, no, we don't do that for 700 wins. We only do the water cooler on dog pile days. So told them that, I'll give them one as long as we get another championship. So
I do remember a few years ago in Florida, I can't remember what milestone it was, but there was a picture I think Stu Josie got of you of holding up, what was that, a sledgehammer or something like that?
Yeah.
Remember that?
500 down in Kissimmee.
Yeah. The 500, yeah. Yeah, that was pretty neat. Well, congratulations, man. And of course, to all the alumni that are watching and the current players too. Just a tremendous milestone. And I'm sure we'll be talking about 800 just like that. That's how it's been. So your thoughts, though, Maz, on a really solid win. Obviously, Bergert was tremendous. Your offense, maybe you didn't get a ton of, timely hitting, but you guys had some good at-bats. Obviously, a lot of offense in the game. And then the defense was really solid too. Just a kind of a sound victory for your first game of the series.
Yeah, I haven't been part of very many games, that we only faced two batters over the minimum. Like, what an unbelievable performance by Brandon Bergert. I didn't realize until like the 8th inning we had only given up one hit and it was an infield single. It's like, man, you kind of wish we had that one play back, but by far his most dominant performance of this season. He's gotten better and better each outing. And that's a really good Grand Valley team that we stifled. So you can't overlook the tremendous defense, especially by Jack Oberdorf over there. We had some nice tracked balls in the outfield too. So the combination of, they say it, pitching, defense, and timely hitting, today was a pretty good example. We have not won games by the long ball. I think we only have maybe, 11 homers on the year, not many. So it hasn't been a driving force in our run production, but today it was, and was complemented by an absolutely fantastic pitching performance by Bergert.
Yeah, you mentioned that one infield single, which, by the way, Oberdorf almost made an amazing play on by the time he got to his feet. The guy that was batting had some speed and got down to first base, but that one infield single, 8 strikeouts, only 1 walk, which I know, is something that plagues him sometimes. But man, if you get that type of Brandon Bergert all year long, if he can stay consistent like that, I mean, how much better of a team does that make you?
Well, I mean, the first probably 3 weeks of the season, we kind of looked at Aiden Layton and said, he's been our most consistent and he's our ace. And it's a little bit of a cliche, but I think now we have a 1A and a 1B. Brandon's coming off of a great performance against one of the best teams in the entire country at any level in Tampa. And he just proved that wasn't a fluke outing. He got even better from that last one. So it's exciting to see Brandon get on track at a really good time with PSAC play opening up next week.
And how important was it, Maz? I know this isn't a tournament, and I know you don't have a short bench or anything, any roster limits, but 27 innings of baseball, and you only used one reliever. Evan Rossi comes in for some low stress, I think 9 pitches he threw. How big was it too to get that much length out of Brandon, knowing that you may need to use the bullpen a little bit here today?
Yeah, I don't want to give away our plan, but we have 3 guys that we plan on using in relief this weekend that give us length. If we need 3 or 4 innings out of the bullpen, and we didn't have to use any of those guys. So you're going into 2 9-inning games with 2 really good starters, 3 guys that have pitched, extended relief. And then, you still got Zilli and Rossi in the back end again. So that start by Berger to start the weekend certainly makes you feel pretty comfortable with the arms you still have left.
We've seen flashes of it already. We saw it a little bit in high school, and I'm talking about the power of Jacob Haynes. He absolutely hit. I said if I was on the broadcast, I probably wouldn't have said Griff bomb, maybe Griff atomic bomb off his bat. It just, and I talked to you after the game a little bit about it, but, just talk about what that looked like from the third base box and, maybe some of your memories of some of the longest home runs hit at the ballpark.
Yeah, I said holy expletive as soon as he hit it. Immediately I thought of Pat Treadle, sometime around 2010, 2011. Pat would, that's back with the old bats, that were pretty lethal. And I remember there was probably 2 times that Pat had put balls halfway across that second field, just unbelievable power. And Jake Haynes certainly has that. I think that home run is just a glimpse of his power and what type of hitter he could be. It's exciting to see that kind of, potential from a freshman. And he's still growing, he'll have his growing pains, but man, to hit a ball that hard and that far is pretty exciting.
Yeah, it certainly was. Jack Whalen, I know he's been struggling coming into the game yesterday, but really seemed like he put some pretty good at bats together, had 2 hits, probably was robbed of 1 with the infield in. Guy made a really nice play on Jack. What do you kind of see from him, and do you think he put together some pretty good at bats? Do you see some improvement there offensively for him?
Yeah, for sure. That the first out that he made was quite honestly the best out he's made this year, all the way to the warning track in the opposite field gap.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen him hit a ball that far ever. So that was, I think, a little shot of confidence for him. It's Jack didn't fail a whole lot last year as a freshman. I mean, from start to finish, he was unbelievable. And I told him he defied the odds last year. Over the course of a college season, no matter what year you are, you're going to have your ups and downs. And Jack didn't have too many downs, so he's being dealt some of those, for frustrating days in his sophomore year. So this is a new learning experience for him. I know we have such great expectations after he had the freshman of the year and led the country in stolen bases, but like every other baseball player at this level, he'll have his growing pains, and probably better that he has them now at the beginning of the season where he can learn. That 2 for 5 day yesterday broke a 4-game hitless streak for him. And I think one thing Jack can do different than everyone else, if he's not hitting, he can change the game and contribute in so many other ways, defensively, running bases. He's such a dynamic player, but it was good to see him get a few knocks.
Yeah, certainly. Get on base by way of walk, change the game in that way, and stolen bases you mentioned, and defensively as well. Another guy I wanted to ask you about, Maz, before we talk about the pitchers here today is Noah Sweeney, who, I mean, you got to love the kid, just how much work he's put in and how he's fought and how great of a a year he had the second half on, down the stretch for you guys, into the playoffs. He has 3 hits yesterday, and he just seems like he just keeps things simple with the plate, and he's also a good defender.
Yeah, I think he's hit safely in like 7 of 10 games this year. So it's a quiet consistency from Noah. And it's taken him a while to get there. I think halfway through the season last year, he really started to, I guess, get used to the speed of the game and understand what he was really good at. He hits the ball the other way really well. He can run. He's an outstanding defender in left field. I just feel like everybody on our team looks at Sweeney as a reliable player. Um, and dynamic too. He can do a lot of different things, but he was a key piece in that massive run that we had last year. It seemed like once Sweeney solidified an off-field spot, I mean, we started to roll, and he's off to a better start this year than he was last year. So that's pretty exciting to see.
And you like him in that 9-hole, being able to kind of turn over the order, maybe set the table, he and Waylon at kind of at the top when you get later in games?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way it works. Those are actually our 2 fastest kids on the team back to back, so that, and then you have, some meat coming up after that. Those guys meet of the order with Oberdorf and Durham and Sable and Haynes. So it's a pretty good combination. And the one thing Noah's done really well at the 9-hole now is he's really learning the strike zone. You can see his strikeouts have diminished significantly. And with a guy like that kind of speed, he has the ability to turn the order over, making good swing decisions.
Well, finally, Maz, what is your plan on the mound for 2 9-inning games today against Grand Valley State?
Well, we have a lot of options. Andino Vecchiola will start the first game, and it's a little deceiving. He had a great start against Ashland. It didn't finish well. He had just 1 bad inning, but man, he was really executing multiple pitches up until I think it was the 4th or 5th inning against Ashland. So, and that was an improvement from his start before. So Dino has made progress and gotten better each start. And we don't. I hope he pitches deep into the game, but we're in a position where we don't really need him to. So, 3 to 5 innings of keeping it close for Dino, and we've got a lot of guys behind him, and then Aiden Layton will come on and start the second game for us. And he's been lights out from the very beginning of the season, and he's given us quality start, I think, each time out. So I think we're lined up pretty good today.
Hey, man, go get 2 more today, sweep the series, and we'll talk after.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate you being here, man.
Absolutely. That is Coach Mark Marizaldi of the Seton Hill Griffins. Coach Maz Show that you watched 20 minutes prior to first pitch is presented by State Farm agent Alex Hetrick in Delmont. We'll have first pitch for you coming up from the Hill right after this.